So it's not completely moot, but I suppose the alternative we're proposing would eliminate that usefulity.
And I think for cars, another thing to note is that the batteries take up a lot of precious metals as well, and obviously they're exhaustible resources. And I know there are a lot of problems with hydrogen run cars as well, but I suppose that's another kind of a wide area of debate, how to run public transport or fuels for that. I just think about it that there is a wide variety of things you could do for it.
Anyone else's information from the speakers?
Can I ask these? Question about all the different types of renewable energy, such as wind and wave. The way that we talk about E equals mc squared, and you take, you're taking this energy out of the environment. Will that have any effect on the oceans or the winds? Will the wind ever stop? Stop flowing? Or the waves go?
No, that will happen. mc squared will only work in terms of mass disappears and becomes energy. For example, in wind wave or wind and in tidal waves, no mass disappears. It's only the momentum of the wave disappears, and this momentum originates from the moon's gravity over the earth. So in truth, it doesn't matter, because even though it may take a small amount of the moon's gravity away, when I'm saying small, I mean a very, 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 very small amount. It really doesn't matter how much we can take it. So this equation won't be the same as you put it into a tidal wave or into a wind. It's just momentum used over there, not any mass. So they won't let you through. One other thing I want to talk about is we said Iceland, uses the geothermal energy for all of their purposes, and he is right. As it used only around 1% fossil fuel, and everything else is run purely by geothermal. The thing is that won't work for Britain. The specific reason is because the difference in heat between the crust, or if you go a meter down on Britain, will be very low compared to how much the Iceland will have. I mean, Iceland has